Hello and welcome to episode 10 of our Timberborn Update 6 Wonders of Water playthrough here in Cycle 18, Day 1 with the Iron Teeth faction. Today is the day, friends. Let's start building our Mega Reservoir. Not going to finish today, but we will get things underway and hopefully start the process to the point where next episode or the episode after we're going to be able to have this thing fully up and running. But the good part about the way that we're building it is since the metal platforms are not watertight, we can put them wherever and it's not going to matter. So I'm going to go ahead and let them start. We have 746 metal blocks. That is basically capped out storage-wise. So we're going to want to get this accomplished sooner rather than later. I think I'm going to be in good shape to just go ahead and build everything that we've already got. The location of this right here, this being, of course, the, I guess I could give you a better view this way. This little reservoir bit here, I've been informed is suboptimal. But the way that this is currently set up, I think it's going to be okay. All that being said, it's going to work out for the betterment of probably all of us if I just go ahead and fix it. So what's going to happen is we're going to go ahead and demolish these two berry bushes, demolish this farmhouse, and go ahead and build this out one more block this way. The reason, of course, being that it would be really nice to have irrigation a little bit further out this way. I'm pretty sure it's going to be fine. Anyway, what we're doing is just going to be filling this in right here, just like so, and get that taken care of. So this is going to get blasted out. These two are going to get blasted out, and we're going to be able to have more growable space because the farmhouse is not going to be in the way. So a little bit of a mulligan here, but that's fine. We'll get it taken care of. Actually, this does not need to be filled in. I had that wrong. This instead needs to be filled in, which is going to create all sorts of interesting opportunities for us here. But I think long term, it's going to be okay. I don't think it's going to flood. Also, if it does, it's not really going to matter that much. We'll be all right. Have some adventure. But go ahead and get this thing sped up here. And then I will unpause these two. Just let this get constructed. They should be able to build this from down below. Keep our builders nice and busy. We do have, I guess technically we have 12, if you count these guys, yeah. But we probably should start trying to migrate guys over to other spots. Anyway, so while they're taking care of this, and I know this is a whole bunch to do all at once, so we'll let them take care of that. Let's have a discussion, keep this in frame in case you want to watch, about why this aqueduct is the way it is. Yes, I am aware that wood, completely filled in with wood, I have to stop saying wood. But I have to use the future tense of that verb. Anyway, the reason we're doing it this way is if we made it out of the material wood, I'm going to completely psych myself out for different meanings of wood. You get unedited content here. Don't ever forget it. But the problem becomes that it would require a lot of wood. But, man, my brain is not going to be able to shut this out. I'm sorry. Dirt is better for a couple of reasons. One, we never use it to build, and people keep asking for it, so I figured, hey, okay, we can do that. But also, it's going to look nicer in terms of not having a giant monstrosity everywhere. And don't forget, we have irrigation barriers. And the way that we're going to be building this is going to enable that to be a successful thing. And here is why. You just put these right on top, or if you're really, really really desperate to save space up here, you can just put it down there. You're not going to lose that much capacity for growing trees over here. You're not going to lose that much capacity for putting different stuff in. It's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. The only problem that you're going to run into if you put it up on top, just for the purpose of demonstration, I'm going to hit pause real quick so they don't actually build this. So you can't build this on top of an irrigation barrier. I guess I could just directly demonstrate to you just so nobody gets an idea about, oh, well, you didn't try it, so it didn't work that way. Yeah, see, like, it doesn't let you do that. And it doesn't let you put it on top of a path either. So if we were to do this way with the irrigation barriers up here, then obviously that would cause some pollution to go through. But consider the following. You can do that. You just put that guy, so like once every 5 tiles, you would actually have an impermeable barrier down there, and in theory, that should stop all of your nasty water from coming through. So all that to say, it's a non-issue. If we want to be able to use the dirt, which I do think does look better, at least compared to what we normally construct, then that is going to be the price we pay for that. That's just how it goes. But having one impermeable barrier every 5 blocks is not going to kill us. If we decide we want to have other stuff up here, then okay, maybe we need to go into a different kind of design thing. But since we never build with the dirt, I figured it was about time for us to do that. Remember, I'm trying to do different things in these, especially this series, than I've done before, because it's really easy to get caught in a rut of just the same thing, lather, rinse, repeat, over and over and over again. And sometimes it's nice to get a fresh perspective. Been watching a bunch of Skystorm videos. He always builds with dirt, which I never understood when I first started watching his stuff. But then, you know, you think about it. After a certain point, dirt is a lot easier to farm than wood is, because each of these blocks is 6 pieces of dirt. Your terraformer, per hour, will give you 3. So it's 2 hours of industrial capacity per block that you build, versus a levee requires 12 logs. This oak tree is 8 logs, and it takes 30 days to grow. That is your most... what's the correct term? It's basically your best wood production per tile, per hour, is an oak tree, and it takes 45 days for one tile of growth to produce enough material to build 1 block of levee. Versus this guy, who's currently paused, I need to unpause, this dirt excavator takes up 25 ground tiles, I think, or is it, no, it's 30. 30 ground tiles and consumes extract, but you never run out of dirt to pull out of the ground, ever. So it's actually a much cheaper material to build with. You get access to it a little later in terms of actual terraforming. So, again, it's not really technically for space saving. When you have to factor in the pollution, it's not really the best option to go with, but figured we could try it. Right? No harm in doing that. Plus, it's not like we're going to run out of space to grow the trees on. Part of the reason we're putting this thing up here is so we can have more growing of plants. And I know trees aren't going to fit under here necessarily, but if we really, really wanted to, I could have raised it up another block and we could have grown trees, but there's going to be enough opportunity to do that. I think we're going to be okay, especially if we're not using wood to build this. Then we don't have to farm as much. It's going to be fine. But I do appreciate everybody's input and thoughts on that, of course. I do always welcome that. So if you see me doing something that you're like, wait, that doesn't make any sense, well, ask why, and I'll tell you. And if in the process of telling you, I decide that it's stupid, then yeah, I'll probably change it. But all that to say, it's always worth asking questions. Speaking of asking questions and non sequiturs, I'm going to go ahead and get this connected here so we can start building the rest of this nonsense. Come and take care of that. This is going to be a long-term thing, but look at this. We already have all of this ready to go in terms of our giant reservoir. So since this is now in the process of being blown up. I think I have to be able to get underneath this. That's not going to work. Anyway, you know what's under here. I've already shown you. We're going to have to wait for them to put the rest of this dirt in before I blow this up. But the intent behind all this still stays the same. Once water is diverted over here, then we can fill in all of this land, but of course it's going to take a while. So, on we go, continuing once again with our blowing up of all of this prime real estate here. Again, it's just a process. It happens. Got to do what you got to do. We are going to get to the point pretty quickly here where I'm going to have to demolish these natural overhangs, which is going to require that we go down into this little basin to do that. So we'll go ahead and put in a staircase for just such an occasion. Let them get down there. I think they should be able to reach just fine. But once this piece is blasted all the way down, I can build the next thing here. This is already completely full up. I'm just going to say get rid of it. They can reach it, so that's fine. This is ready to get blown up here, but I can't blow this up until I have these land bits built, which I can't do until I have dirt, and we just turned this back on. So that's going to take a little bit of time. Well, that's okay. Also, well, I guess I don't need to turn these off yet, but I don't have gravity batteries to charge, so this is just wasting power. Let's turn those 3 off. Make sure everything else is going well. Somebody asked if this lodge is paused. Yes, Barracks, I'm sorry. This is Iron Teeth and not Folktales. This is currently paused. We will unpause it or do something when the time comes, but right now we still have some extra capacity, so that's looking okay. This is getting filled in nicely. That shouldn't take too much longer. Builder-wise, again, we're not completely full up, but I think for what we're looking at, we're probably okay. I've got dynamite. I've got extract. We don't really need to... Well, we're going to continue blowing stuff up, but we don't need to blow up quite as much as we used to, just because we've already done a huge part of it. I only need to blow up the bits that are going to allow me to build these metal things. Everything else can be lowered over time. And that's just going to have to be what it is. What we can do, what I will actually probably not do at this exact moment, but what we can do pretty soon is start putting in other levees here, so we can get these guys to actually use all of our log reserves. But the reason I'm not going to do all that at once is because for right now we aren't exactly producing an enormous quantity of trees. We need to spread out our construction, and I know as soon as I start placing these, I'm just not going to want to stop. So what I will do, since we are here, is I will go ahead and build the first couple columns for our reservoir. So they'll take a little bit of time to do that. That'll keep them busy, and it will free up a little bit of capacity for us to cut some trees down since we're basically there. Also, this is going to start flooding farmland, but not to a completely severe degree quite yet. I'm going to demolish this natural overhang, that very first one, and that will stop the flooding problem right there. So that's 4, I think. Yeah, 4 blocks tall. We'll have to just do a 2 and a 2. It's fine. Dynamite Placement Simulator 2024 is what we're playing over here, I guess. This continues to get into a pretty good position here in terms of completeness now that this is taken care of. Still some more trees to remove, but pretty pleased with the progress here. People keep bringing in suggestions about how to handle bad water diversion. One of the comments, I believe, if I'm interpreting it correctly, was to have this wrapped around into this canal and then out that corner, which definitely is something we could do, but I think, honestly, we want to keep this the way it is and try to make use of these natural overhangs would be my priority. I don't know if it's going to be completely feasible with how we have this set up, but for right now, this is fine, how we have this set up right here. The idea behind this bypass was always just to take advantage of a bad tide and do that way. But it is going to require that we raise this up, which I guess, honestly, right now is probably the right time to do it because... Actually, no. The reason I got to catch myself. The reason I didn't do this is because I don't know if I'm going to have a bad tide yet or not. And I don't know when it's going to start. at any point in time, the most I will ever know in terms of advanced timing is 3 days. And I don't want to get caught. Don't want to get caught without having the preparations in place, so you know how that goes. But I'm pretty sure... I mean, we're not going to get it on a day 10 anyway. Yeah, pretty sure we're going to be okay, especially since this is a good tide. We'll just go ahead and get this situated appropriately here. Come pick up all our mess. You know, probably signing my own death certificate doing it this way, but that's fine. I am very interested in things working out to be not completely stupid, if that makes sense. All right, so this is going to have to be, I guess, filled in with dirt. Probably would make the most sense. Then the sluices this way. Make sure these are set to close above contamination 1%. There we go. So that'll take care of that. Triple dynamite once again, and that can be a double. Very good. Oh, I should have done this. Yeah, all right, yeah, we'll have to do this way. Then the rest of this, obviously, I don't think it's going to ever come out the top. Actually, no, I won't need to put a cap on it because it's all going to go this way. Except now some of the good water is going out the backside, which we kind of don't want. So that was the reasoning behind what I was doing over here. While we're thinking about, you know, the consequences of our actions here, let's go ahead and place impermeable flooring there. Just want to make sure I've covered everything that I have to cover. Those are cheap to build. We'll be fine. Alright, so that's good there. That is now low enough to match this, but again, we're going down 2 more, so I can grow that crops there. This can all be removed now that that other one is out. Goodbye, natural overhangs. You served us well, but there is a better purpose for this space. That is okay. Those are way far down in the build order, but that's okay because we still don't have the 3-day warning. Looking fine, looking fine. No reason to be concerned there. They've already built this, and the wood storage is already basically full again. All right, so if that's what we're going to do, then let's do it. 6 is our magical number here. Let's try that. See what happens. Again, I don't want to use too much of my wood right now because a lot of it is still growing and there's other consequences like, hey, this is now no longer irrigated over here because I put this land in place. The way it goes, you got to keep yourself informed about everything at all times. All right, so other stuff that you guys asked about in the comments. Most of the comments were about the bypass or the dam construction, which is fine. That's what we're talking about. Number crunchers. Somebody made a comment that the number crunchers can go underwater. Yes, this is known. We did that in the Series 15 playthrough on the giant tiered map. I put all my number crunchers underwater. And that was something I was thinking about doing over here. I can't remember if I ever talked about it in the video, but once this whole thing is built and filled with water, I do remember saying that I was maybe going to put in flywheels once that mod is fully up and running. I have not checked to see if it is. But if we did that, what we could also do is these spaces around the outside, we could easily put in a couple of number crunchers because those are 4x4, and then the big flywheel 5x5 thing down there. It's possible. We could make it work. So keep that in our back of our mind here. It's always good to have options, right? Okay, so this is taken care of. We know we're going to be safe, no matter what. This is, however, not ready quite for us to start diverting bad water through it. That's going to require some of these trees to get cut down. These are all ready to go. We just have these 2 right here that are not fully grown. And while I do have kind of a deficit of beavers, I think that's because a lot of them are getting injured in the mine and making dynamite. And I guess also in the dirt excavator. So that's to be expected, I suppose. But we're getting kind of close. Oh, this is ready to go. All right, blow this up. Blow this up. So that actually answers my other question I had was, will this flood if this is in place? Currently, the answer is no. But I know at least someone has thought of this. We are also diverting a considerable amount of it back off that other side because of how this has been constructed. So let's go ahead and get rid of these, and hopefully I don't come to regret doing this. Famous last words. Just fill this back bit in. Yes. Okay, good. It's going to be a trout. Fill these guys in with dirt, and then everything will come out the front side here. I think in 3 days they can manage that. Once the dirt is all collected, which, well, presently there's not that much dirt to begin with. But they'll take care of it, get everything all situated, force that water to come through here, and then we'll actually be able to figure out what it is we're doing. But before we get too far again, I do have to put in... Oh, it is so hard to actually place stuff. All right, these guys there. I'll just... there. We'll do that so I can actually see. Again, the goal with this was to fully put the farmhouse on non-irrigable land, which that has accomplished. We still have this pathway going through here because we need a pathway. But I think just moving it one block further this way, the irrigation, that is going to reduce the amount of land that we're going to have to later make up for. And, of course, the farmhouse range itself is perfectly fine. We're going to need more than one farmhouse. I already know that, but we'll get that taken care of. So now what we can do here is we can go ahead and put in this platform and then another 5x5 metal. Right there, making good progress on that. I'm going to go ahead and expedite the construction of this, because I know they're just bringing in all this wood over here, and that's fine. But we want to do this in segments. Make sure everything is A-OK. Now, there's not currently any cause for concern with this, but we cannot forget, I say we, I'm mostly talking to myself, we cannot forget that there is currently no way for bad water to escape because this is still plugged. That's going to become a problem if we don't fix it in the next little bit of time. Fortunately, for everyone involved, that is about to not be that big of a problem, because we're going to be able to come over here and start building additional land. Of course, all of this takes time, and we want to make sure that we're not going to flood. If we have to do an emergency blast here to let water out, we don't want to flood downstream, so that is why I put this in this way. So the water is going to come out and then be more incentivized to go off the map here or come down here without coming directly this way. It probably still will, because, you know, that's just how it works. But a little bit of insurance is nice to have. Okay, 1 day left. So let's check our flooding or not flooding situation down here. Yeah, we are golden, friends. We did not need this river to be 3 wide and 2 deep. 4 wide, 2 deep, whatever it actually was. Unless there's some sort of flow adjustment that is taking some time to back up here, I think this is okay. Obviously, the goal is to have no river here anyway, because it's going to go into this thing and then off the end once it gets to that point. So we will we'll get there when we get there. These are not mission critical to be demolished at this time, but they will be at some point. Metal-wise, we're down to 500, but we've built not quite half of our 5x5 platforms. Again, they're going to get there when they get there. But now that this, I'm pretty sure this is looking good. Let's go ahead and unpause all of these. Come on, let me click, please. If I ask nicely, thank you. And just do what we got to do. Did get a comment saying that there's 3x3 platforms. Yes, that is true. There are 3x3 platforms, and we could very well build with those if we chose. But the reason I chose 5x5 is because that is going to have minimal ground contact. And that is what we want. 7-day drought, water, we're always going to be fine, but it's always good to make a double check, sure. Yeah, the 5x5 means for every 25 squares, only one thing is touching the ground, versus for the 3x3s, every 9 squares, one is touching the ground. So this is actually maximizing our growable land. Even if we use the 6x6 overhangs and just stair-step them, every single one of these around the outside here would be an unplantable thing. Depending on, well, for the dimensions that I chose to blast down. That would be a lot more potential spaces lost versus this. Plus, you know, I don't know, I think it looks cool. And it's a little bit more believable than just having, you know, just stair-stepped overhangs all the way out here. Like, hey, like, this looks neat, but, yeah, no. We're not going to be doing that. So those guys are going to do what they're going to do. We've got, yeah, they haven't cut these down, but I get, as soon as I say, you know, we don't need to take all of our wood out of here, they just completely keep refilling it and proving me wrong. So, you know what? You know what? I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to put all of these in. Obviously, I know it has to be one taller than this, but currently, actually it has to be more than one taller than this. It has to be considerably taller, but that's what we can build right now, and we'll come back and make it taller later. Just want to make sure we're not going to be in a too terrible position. I just really don't want to run out of wood. That would cause all sorts of problems. Anyway, we still have plenty of blasting left to do, plenty of, well, everything left to do. Just gotta make stuff work. I guess we had a little bit of a death wave. We got 9 free beds. We had 2 at the beginning of the episode. Since they can reach here, that's probably fine to keep going this way. It gets complicated blasting when you're in these weird topography corners like this. It's just a thing. We'll go ahead. Front button. I'm going to deprioritize the destruction of these overhangs here because I do have to get this ready to go. I think overall, probably more important to get these trees cut down. But they seem to focus, well, they don't seem to, that is how it works. They focus on the closer trees that are ready to cut. And these, so far, are not the closest trees. So we're going to make them the closest trees by putting a lumberjack flag right here, letting them take care of that. Industrial capacity is fine currently. But remember, we want to increase the amount of beavers we have, so we're going to have to continue adding more food stuff. Raw materials, honestly, for right now is probably fine. Not exactly the fastest thing ever, but that's the way it is. Coffee, we do not have adequate storage for, so we're going to have another one of these tanks just for coffee, just so the beavers can, you know, actually drink some. And to that end, I'm just going to put a medium tank up here and have that earmarked for coffee. So we can keep making coffee because we have plenty of coffee bushes now that these guys are good to go. And our gatherer flag here is still within plenty of range. They're actually no longer in range of these, which I did not know. So these, I'm just going to say these 5 can go away. Probably also because, you know, this is kind of an eyesore, and I think this is from like episode 1 or episode 2 when I made this, and people said, hey, you need to replace that with a ladder. It's really ugly. And you're right, it is ugly. But instead of replacing it, we're just going to get rid of it, because that's the easier thing to do, you know, when they actually get around to demolishing this. So our natural overhangs are gone, unfortunately, but it's going to end up being, long-term, a very good thing for us to do. Get this put up here. Once we have access to get down... Hold on. Is that a... That's not a stranded beaver. That's just a beaver with nothing to do. Let's pause this farmhouse, because, again, we're not using it. Metal-wise, 253 is going to be enough. Not quite enough to build all of our metal, but I can go ahead and get at least these 2 5x5s, and we're only going to have 2 left, plus 1 metal for every impermeable floor square. That's going to be, once the water comes back, it's going to be important for us to have everything covered that is above farmland. Although, actually, I don't think it's going to be an issue if we end up doing this right. Yeah, I think we're going to be fine. These are, I think, all good to go. I just wasn't quite sure what was natural overhang and what was regular dirt, but I think I got all that covered. Okay, these trees are being cut down. That's going to take some time. The land is getting put in here. That's looking good. I think it's time for us to have some more beavers. I know we can support it food and water-wise. Housing-wise, I can just unpause this if we ever get to that point, but I need more bodies. So I'm going to put in another breeding pod, and that should eventually bring our population up another, what, 15? 10 or 15? Should help us out for right now to look pretty good there. What are we waiting on? Oh, we're not. We just have to have somebody build it. That's fine. So instead, it looks like they're building this medium tank, which is nice and well and good, so I guess I'll just let them continue with that. Plank storage. Oh, plank storage is full, and gear storage is full, and treated plank storage is full, and the mine is running? Okay, well, I guess we balanced that production chain pretty well. We have plenty of scrap metal, well, relatively. We have capacity to turn it into regular metal blocks. We're looking good, folks. Making incremental progress, which is always a nice thing. Now, the mangrove fruits, we don't have a lot of, but we're not out of them. I think the issue is we just have the one gather flag, and it's probably a little busy, considering all this other stuff that's got to get pulled out of the ground. Berries are still here because they haven't really been used, I guess. But most of those are up here, and I think we have another gather flag up here? I mean, we have to. We have to if this is how this is situated. I just don't remember where it is. Wait, there's an easy way to check. No. So that means this entire time we've maxed out our berries, but there's not been any picked? Oh, I'm stupid. There's berries down here. Alright, well that would explain what's going on with that. I'm going to prioritize mangrove fruits for right now. Hopefully we don't forget that we did that. Okay, so all of the platforms that I can currently build are built. And we have 81 metal left. Let's not forget these are 90 apiece. So I don't have enough to make another one right now, so I'm not going to place another one, nor can I really with the way this is set up. Well, that's a good opportunity for us to let that recharge a little bit. I just wanted to try and get as much of this done as I could before we move too far. I'm going to bump this down 1 dynamite so these can all be the same and not have to worry about that, because once this is where it's supposed to go, then I think we're going to... Oh, you know what? No, this is a fool's errand. This is a fool's errand. This can be a 3, and this can be a 2. Let's do it that way. That's going to be easier. And then the last time can just be a 2. Alright. This wood construction continues to be its own thing. I should have done this the first time. I'm just going to down prioritize all of that. But, yeah, I guess my concerns about having enough wood to do the whole thing at once were completely unfounded because the storage is still full and I've already used like 1,000 some over here. So that's cool, I guess. We planned effectively, planned correctly. Okay, they can't reach this because I put the wall there. Alright, well that's a mistake I'm going to have to deal with, but not the end of the world. What we can do is we can come up here with ladders and get into this plateau, and then I suppose probably the easy way to do it would just be to come off the side like this. Make sure we have everything. Of course, I know they can't get over here. It's fine. Just pop one of those guys in, call it a day. Get that nice and connected. Let's go straight through. Yes, it can, kind of. Okay, cycle 19 begins. I've got to move past that. There we go. It's a little bit of a science fair over here, but that's going to be fine. Mark for cutting just preemptively. I know there's not that many trees, but this is easier. All right, so that will prepare this area pretty decently. Here comes water, and because of the way that we have this set up, no flooding, which is great to see. Well, otherwise, it's just a whole lot of the same process-wise. You know how this goes. So that will be the last bit of blasting there, which means we can finally start on this mess. And I don't remember. I know they can build diagonally, so maybe this is fine. We're just gonna try this as triples. Just do that. The rest of this is probably doing okay. All right, other topics of discussion. The Badwater Dome here, honestly, the main reason I haven't done that yet is because I want to use the metal for the reservoir first. And so far we have been okay without it. But we are going to eventually build it, yes. Just so everybody is aware or reminded that I'm not ignoring this because I don't want to do it. I just think we have other priorities first. Plus, it's a lot of gears, and we currently only have capacity for 400-something gear storage. Which also probably needs to be fixed, but it's fine. Gonna be okay. Wow, they built these quick. So let's go ahead and get this lumberjack flag going here. They can get these trees out of here, because then what we can do is we can either continue building terrain block stuff, or we can decide that maybe we want to have overhangs. I know at a certain point it's going to have to be overhangs, but I kind of want to go, you know, all the way around three corners, technically four corners, three sides of the map at the same height, terrain-wise. So bring that all the way around here, and then, well, okay, at least all the way around to here, and then we could just probably have it drop off. That's going to give us a lot of space for power generation, even if it's not constantly. A lot of space for power generation. It's going to be nice. Of course, this is going to take some time for them to get that taken care of. What actually is the most prioritized building project right now? Well, I guess technically it's all this dirt over here, which we don't really need that to be the primary focus of what we're doing, but yeah, it's fine. There's not that many trees left here to cut down. This guy is going to be finished in another 9 days. These two are already cuttable. We haven't quite gotten there yet. And these guys, right, well, this one guy right here has been going to town on the trees, which is nice to see. Ladders here, going to get those out. And then I guess what we'll go ahead and do is, because I have committed to doing this at this point, I'm just going to get... actually, no, I have a better idea. This bit can stay there. I'll just build this whole thing up like this, because I have the ability to do so. Turn that around that way, that way. This one tree has to go away once the ladder's in place. And it can be reached. Good. So that won't take too long. They're birch trees. They cut down quick. And then this will be very nicely set up. Good to go. Now I have 15 deficit on our beavers here because I keep adding jobs. And now we actually only have 4 builders? Really? Really? Only have 4 builders? Well, what can I turn off? The dirt obviously probably doesn't need to be. Scrap metal. Because of our incapacitated beaver problem, I'm going to turn the mine off. It's going to take them a while to go through 400 scrap metal. Again, it's every 4 hours they use 2. So, yeah, we've got some time. Several in-game days at the very least before we even need to think about turning this back on. So that will free up 9 beavers to go work as builders, and also hopefully start reducing the amount of injured beavers we're working with, while they continue to build a whole bunch of dirt. So this is ready here. These got placed correctly. But the real test is going to be when this goes in here, because I think this corner piece they would have just walked and placed anyway. Now if this says it's inaccessible, then we're going to have a problem. But it doesn't, so we're actually good. Good, good, good. Now we also have the option... And I really should have done it this way before things got too complicated, but I could have used my 6x1 suspension bridges to just kind of go over the top of all of this. And I still can, but it's a lot of planks. Well, okay, what do I care? What do I care? Let's just do it. Yeah, because that's gonna go here. All right. In the interest of, you know, getting things accomplished. Plus, it looks kind of cool. I have the science, plenty of science. These don't use metal anymore either, so that's fine. This will allow us to place dynamite almost everywhere we need to place it. At least to build the rest of this. And I know that's insane to build 8 of these at once. That's an enormous quantity of planks and logs that we're not going to get back because of the 25% waste when deleting things. However, it's kind of cool. And it's a mechanic that I don't really take advantage of ever. So, figured we might as well do it. Which, of course, also is going to allow us to get rid of this mess and put another one of these in. So it's actually 9. But the cool thing is, like I said, all of this, all at once, can just go down. And eventually I can, you know, think about the math being done the correct way where I can just explode everything at once, but we're at the point now where I think you and I both understand why that's not happening. Well, that is a triple, that's a double, that's a single. Actually, let's do that. That's gonna be a double. That's gonna be a single. So at the very least, some of this can, you know, match up. So that can stay as a triple. Actually, this should probably go as a double. Yes. Basic arithmetic. It's all the rage these days. Well, apparently not, because I'm still terrible at it. Alright, so then this all gets put in as a double. Yeah, okay, and that's going to bring that down to this level. And then all of that can be done. Love it. Otherwise, we're going to be sitting here for like 3 episodes doing this garbage, which, I don't know, maybe is beneficial, but for right now, probably not. Alright, so we can let them do their own thing over there. See, look how quickly our incapacitated beavers recovered if they don't have to go to the mines. Just food for thought there. Alright, nothing to do for Hubby over here, so go about your business as you choose. And bring in the terrain blocks here. I'll put 2 more. I do want them to build the bridges and the dynamite first, so I'm not going to put anything else in right now. But we're looking good. We're at equilibrium on our jobs. We do still have 6 incapacitated beavers, which means we'll be okay. We have 7 empty beds, which we're going to be okay there. We have coffee, which is good news. We have water, which is good news. Nothing is flooding that isn't supposed to be flooding, and yeah. And the number cruncher is still paused, although I probably, actually, no, I cannot, at this exact moment in time, I cannot unpause it. Well, it's okay. It is there for when we need it, and right now we don't need it. So now I'm guessing they're just going to finish these bridges first before they put anything else down, and that's okay. Well, what we can do is we can go ahead and place the rest of our wood here, because eventually that's going to get done. That's going to be fine. This will go this way. Nice and easy. But I hear you say, aren't you going to have something coming out of this? And yes, I don't think I want it to be at the very bottom, because, I mean, that would, efficient standpoint, would actually be really good. But it would just be cycling on and off all the time if it were a sluice gate, which is going to cause some spillage issues. So I think what we might actually want to do is put in dams at the top, wherever the output to the river is going to be, so that way it only overflows when it's full. And, you know, we can have an emergency sluice gate at the bottom somewhere, built into the bottom of the thing at any point in time. But I would like for this to be not having a thing sticking out at the bottom of the side. Maybe it's a mistake to do it that way. Maybe it's not. I don't know. But if you disagree that strongly about it, please let me know in the comments, and maybe we'll change it. But I think for right now, we are looking pretty okay. All right, so now I can finally put this dirt in here. And this one tree, 96%. This guy, this lumberjack flag probably can go away, but I want to make sure this one tree gets cut down as soon as possible. And right now, it would not be the first tree cut down because of its proximity, or lack thereof, to these guys. Everything else looking decent. I've got this here. That's still accessible, which is kind of... oh, no, there's ladders. That's why. That's why it's fine. Okay, scrap metal down to 200. Still okay. Still don't have enough of our mangrove fruit, so I think what we're going to have to do is we're going to have another gatherer flag. Which... here, this canola seedling, I'm going to just get rid of. And I'm going to put a gatherer flag there. Just the easiest way to do it. We are only growing a small amount of canola oil, or canola oil, we don't grow oil, seeds, but we aren't out, and I think we're doing okay. We don't have a lot of storage for the oil itself. I'm noticing we only have capacity for 90, which is the 3 small tanks. But even so, we haven't run out. Maybe that's because our food storage is completely full. Maybe it's not. I guess that's something we've got to figure out for ourselves, but I think we're fine for right now. Obviously, as the colony grows. Remember, we still don't have 100 beavers, which I guess for one of my playthroughs is pretty unusual. And episode 10. You know, we're doing what we can do. Now we're cooking here. We've got our... oh, did I do my math wrong? No, never mind. I was just trying to think. There's no way that's actually a triple. Okay, no, we're good. Oh, these guys are thirsty. Well, that's too bad. That was probably not advisable. Oops. Well, what's it actually going to kill? Oh, all those berries. Well, okay, it's going to be fine. Gonna be fine. Gonna be fine. Once we have the rest of this blown up. Double, 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 double. Everything double. All the way. Can they reach? Yes, they can. So those are already dead from contamination. You know what? To save ourselves, probably what's going to happen here is... first of all, take stock of how many berries are flooded. Wow, okay, that's too many. I can't ignore that. We have to put in a drain here. Which I know probably not the best thing here, but we can get it figured out. I want to shunt this off this way. Like, once this gets blown up here... actually, I could just go ahead and do... that'll take care of the problem right now. We'll have time to... of course, it's going to flood. Because now all this extra is coming up. But it's not going to stay flooded. It's going to be fine. So anyway, this is a good lesson in managing exactly what you're doing here. I clearly did not do a good job of that. So this is coming down to this level, which is fine. We always wanted it to be, but this, to get down to this level, has to be another 4. So what I will do is this... oh, come on, lag. This is going to go down 2 first. We'll have this whole thing ready to go. This can go down 3. Yeah. So then it directs it into the existing channel, and then we can influence the location of where stuff goes down with the impermeable floors. Which I now have enough metal to build these last 2 platforms here. So we can start... Well, we can't get in here yet, but... Ah, yes, the bad tide approaches. Just when we thought it couldn't get any spicier. So here's our conundrum. Well, it's not really a conundrum. We just have to go ahead and get this taken care of. Yeah, so here's what we are going to do. I'm going to put in here and here. They can't really get to this because it's too far for a path, so that's going to have to get connected here, get this built up. We're not going to be able to get everything done exactly the way we wanted to do it before this bad tide starts. But I'm pretty sure I can influence the water to go roughly where I want it to go. We just have to be smart about it. I am 90% sure I can make this work. Connect that there. Okay, looking decent. Got good dynamite storage. Good extract storage. Remember, I can't build these until the rest of this is blown up. There is a reason that is like that. This no longer needs to be here. I can come collect that bit. Got 2 days. 2 days to get this taken care of here. This should be our top priority, getting this dirt in place. We have dirt. There should be no other construction currently happening because this is all taken care of for the most part. Oh, except that bit. All right, so that's now a low priority job. All right, come over here and put this dirt in. Let's make it happen, folks. They can build that from underneath as long as nobody stupid gets caught inside. That's fine because that's waiting on the one behind it. All right, builders. We got 5 unemployed beavers. So that to me says I want to work in a builder's hut. So guess what? You're going to work in the builder hut. All I've got to do is make sure that the water can flow down here and out. What that's also going to mean is that this is going to become contaminated. And yes, I know that was something that we were also very concerned about and is going to have ramifications on our tree farm, which I'm going to get a whole lot of I told you so's in about 1.2 days. But, you know, that is that's the way it goes. Live by the sword, die by the sword. Today, I will probably die by the sword, but such is life. Let's pause. Take stock of where we're at, so we don't have to suffer too much here. This desperately needs to be closed because that's going to completely poison everything. So that should be priority number 1. Priority number 2 should be making sure the bad water that's all going to come out here does not flow into our industrial area, which is going to require that this become a point to divert water. That is going to require that this gets completely shut off. So, this is what we're going to do. These... Well, actually, this is goal number 2. This path is cut off. This is replaced with the dirt. This is super prioritized. That will shut this off from flooding through here. These dynamites have to be detonated or everything will flood. I'm going to rig emergency overflow dynamite. Hopefully we don't have to use it because that's, well, it's not cheaty, but I would consider myself to be a failure if I had to set these off. But we do still want them to be there. This will all flow through here. If this is not plugged, though, all hope is lost. That's just simply how it is. This is now a slightly higher priority here. I'm going to go ahead and put another double dynamite here so that stuff can flow off. That is another part of the high priority tier. And then everything else after that is just gravy. But I'm going to go ahead and put, since I can reach all the way over here, they can walk on top of them, but they cannot place buildings. So that will go there. That is how many? That's 9 squares, which means I can do 10. And they should be able to reach that. They're not going to be able to get over here unless or until I can put a ladder in to get on top, which then is going to require... actually, I can drag further than I can actually reach. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so that's probably about as far as we're going to get. Some of these trees are going to die, probably most of this, but we made the choice to do it this way, and that is the consequence of our actions. But what we can do is we can try to prevent complete disaster by doing that way. Once this is taken care of, stuff getting built, then I think we're going to be fine. But now I think we're just going to have to let this be what it's going to be. Should have started on this process a couple days ago, but hey, you know how this goes. All right, so job number 1 done. This can no longer flood completely and directly with bad water. All right, so that's ready to go. This closes above contamination. I'm going to go ahead and not detonate this until the very end of our other... Wait, why do we have beavers going in here? Why do we have beavers going in here? This needs to immediately stop. This path needs to be disconnected. All right. Is anybody over here? All right, you got to get out of here. You got to get out of here. All right, you're done. Go up, and ladder's gone. At least for right now. Okay. Now no one can get in. No one can get in. How are we looking here? Okay, that's... Oh, they can't reach this. They can't reach this. That is unfortunate, but we're going to have to just worry about that when we get there. Okay, I'm pretty sure we're doing okay. So this wall is here. That's fine. They should not be building this right now. This needs to be massively deprioritized. All right, get that out of here and go do something else. That was also a mistake. All right, I'm going to let that go down almost all the way. Almost all the way. And then we're going to detonate this. All right, so now we have bad water coming through here, surging at great speed. We are going to get a little bit of a flood, but I think we're going to be okay. No leaking? Good. Oh, yes. Oh, look at this. Look at this sweet disaster. Okay, we... Oh, no. All right. This is a pit, by the way, that is flooding. Okay. This is no longer reachable. That's a problem. That's a problem. Okay. We, to date, have not had a beaver infected. So, here's what's going to happen. I'm going to have to cut off direct access to down here with the help of this path being removed. And by this path, I mean those 2 paths, which is going to mean that... Oh, you know what? No, it's not. Okay, the entire industrial district is hereby quarantined. Get out of there. Get out of there. Escape with your lives. This whole thing's... the whole thing is going down. I really hope nobody's over here. Sheesh. This is what happens when I don't properly think stuff through. Okay, well I absolutely cannot end the episode like this, so we are going to try and fix what's going on. But oh no. Yeah, I'll tell you what. Let's if I have room to put one of these, I have room to put one of these. That's gonna get blown up. That's gonna get blown up. This is now super top priority. That's gotta have connection here, which is fine because you can build paths on your dynamite now. This goes all the way here. Alright, so that's gonna take care of that. Fortunately, none of the trees have died yet. I think that's because the concentration isn't quite high enough. But my main concern now is that I am flooding my... It's going to take so long to pump out, too. Or not even pump it out. Well, I can pump it out, but I can't build this yet. Oh, boy, I love it when this happens. No, I don't. All right. Yeah, it's bad. It's bad, folks. Well, at least no beavers are contaminated yet. We're going to have to remember that I have to plug these back in at some point. Oh, well. You live and you learn. What's interesting is that now this is 100% bad water. It's not infecting these trees. In fact... Oh, okay, here it comes. Never mind. Never mind. I spoke too soon. Spoke way too soon. Well, we're going to save some of them. And that's what matters. You can roast me if you so choose. For bad choices. But if we can come out of this with no beavers actually being infected, I'm going to count that as a win. Even though it was an entirely preventable catastrophe. A monument to my hubris, etc. You know the drill. Alright. So bring your planks in. Bring your metal blocks. And let's get this thing finished. As long as this doesn't overflood, I think we're going to be fine. But probably has already gotten past the point of that being an issue. Okay, so we did have some trees die. But it's not getting... hopefully not getting worse. This has helped a lot. These are what they are. Come on. Come on. Yeah, we're just waiting on the planks. As soon as this dynamite's ready to go, I'm blasting this stuff, and that's going to get rid of almost all of it. But this is going to take some time to get dried out. Probably a whole cycle. That's a huge problem. But the good news is we have 100 beavers, and we have 6,600 food. They're not going to starve. Things are just going to be stunted for a little bit of time. All right, that's done. That's out. All right, bad water flow off the map. Probably not going to be super quick coming off of here, but it is going to help eliminate some of this eventually. I know this is filling up. Hopefully it doesn't get worse. Come on, bring the stuff in. Finish. No, build it. Build it, build it, build it. This is filling up rapidly. We cannot afford this. We cannot afford this. Well, then why'd you do it that way? Well, I don't know. I can't call myself a limit. That's Skystorm's thing, but I guess I need a new nickname for myself. Well, this was not nearly as much of a catastrophe as it possibly could have been. I think we can be pretty thankful for that, at the very least. All right, this is now ready to be blown up. Hopefully enough of... There we go. All right, good. Enough has been... You absolute buffoons! That's on me. That's on me. I didn't pause them. I just... Oh, jeez. All right. Well, I guess it's a miserable failure because somebody went in there when they shouldn't have gone in there. All right. Pause, 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 pause. These are not able to be done because what's behind them is not complete. Except those are. So, get out of here. No more ladder. Take that away. So now we have one unwell beaver ruining it for everyone else. Thanks for, you know, doing that. This is annoying, is what it is. So, on that bombshell, it's probably about time to end this episode, but, now I gotta build one of these decontamination pods. I was not planning on doing that. Where can I put this thing? Oh, you know what? Perfect spot. Right next to the waterfall of nasty right there. Yep, that can be where whoever is unwell, David Trujillo, buddy, control your beaver. Really unfortunate, but we'll get you fixed up. Eventually. We have extract now, so... That's just... It's so demoralizing, dude. Alright, I gotta pump this out, but I cannot reasonably do that without bringing beavers in here. Flip this way, I guess. Yeah, this is probably fine. Build that there. To save beavers from getting... No, I can't actually, because there's ladders there. I'm going to have to undo this path, and I'm going to have to bring in a set of ladders or something over here. Yeah, let's... Well, it's not perfect. Definitely not perfect, but it's, for right now, going to have to be good enough. Just bring that in like so. So, that's going to be, I guess, the project to get this pumped out and, you know, solve our problems and all that fun stuff. Well, man, I didn't want this to be like this either. Oh, well, what can I say? I just need to build sluices here. Yeah, these are going to be at the bottom. I'm going to have these set to close below contamination of 1%. So they will be open as long as we need them to be open, and then we'll just levy on top of it. Give them something to do eventually for when the bad tide is over, which is actually pretty soon. All right. Well, hey, there's only a small bit of this that is not irrigable at this point. And I guess I could go ahead and get that situated right there. It definitely could be worse. Could be a whole lot worse. Still not proud of this being a solution that has to be figured out, but we probably did about the best we could. All right, decontamination pod is built. Our friend David is not contaminated yet, but will be soon. This is progressing nicely. This is already built. That is fine. And yeah, there you go. It's functional. It's getting better day by day, piece by piece. So that's going to be it for today. I appreciate you guys watching these videos, providing all of the helpful comments and suggestions, and discussing possible ideas is always fun. I do always read the comments. Can't respond to everybody. You know the drill by now. But truly, it is because of you guys that I'm able to do this. Beard Boosters especially, directly subsidizing the channel and making this so I don't have to take on sponsorships for stuff I do not want to do. Just focus on playing the games and enjoying the aspect of community that we've got with you guys. So very thankful for that. Of course, we have plenty more to come with this series and water beavers and all sorts of stuff as well. But I'm going to be out of town this weekend, so it's possible we might not have a video on Sunday, because currently I'm attempting to get stuff all situated for that. But I'll do my best to see if I can get something out. If not, well, that's why. But you have this video, and then you have tomorrow for water beavers already ready to go. So everything should be all hunky-dory, good to go. That's going to be where we end today. Whatever it is you're doing with the rest of your day, stay safe, have fun, and we'll see you back on Monday for the next episode of this currently a disaster playthrough here. But, you know, it's how it goes. Sometimes stuff just gets messed up, and there's nothing you can do about it. Anyway, we'll see you later. Take care, friends. Bye-bye.